Well, good morning and welcome to
The Farmer and the Cheesemaker channel. I'm the farmer, she's the cheesemaker.
And I do farming too.
That's true too. And I know how to make cheese, I just make it badly.
So when you tune in, you are going to probably see Ellie and her monkey on occasion, and
A host of critters and us.
and cheese, and
And who are we?
who are we? Allison Lakin.
I'm Neal Foley.
We're married.
Yay! We're also having breakfast. We're trying to cram this in among many things. And so what we're hoping is this channel is going to be educational, informative, and fun.
And also inspire you in the kitchen and in your refrigerator too.
Refrigerator? That sounds cold.
No, but you see, like for example, if you go beyond the YouTube channel to say follow our other social media platforms on Instagram and Facebook, Recipe Wednesday is...
Which may also come to the channel. And so the other thing is this channel is driven by you, the viewer. So in the comment section, tell us what you want to see out of a farm. We're a small farm.
It's us.
Just the two of us.
And the dog.
And the dog. And the animals. And to run a farm, a cheese-making company, and a sawmill. So then let us know what you want to see out of a farmer, a cheesemaker, and a sawyer. And also what you want to learn.
We also do things like make cheese boards, and we have events where we bring in guest chefs from around the state of Maine to cook for a limited number of guests. So there are many different things that we could talk about. We have a lot of opinions.
And a lot of stuff goes on here, and a lot of people come through this farm on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what this channel's about. I wouldn't call us a micro dairy. We're the next size up. We're a small dairy, not a micro dairy, and we're growing larger by the volume. We have 16 bovine units, and that comprises 6 milk cows, the dry cows, and the pregnant heifers, yearlings, and then the calves, 4 calves.
So come next June of 2024, we are going to have 11 calves. But that also means that I will have 11 cows in milk to make more cheese. And oh my God, I can't wait.
And the idea is to have about 16 active milk cows and then replacement stock in the calves. And that will provide way more milk than we get right now.
Way more?
Way, W-H-E-Y. Yeah. That'll provide way more milk to make more cheese.
To be able to get it into many more mouths and refrigerators.
There we go. And so what did you do this week?
Oh gosh, what did I do this week? Let's see. So right now my schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I physically make cheese. The rest of the cheese work through the week is things like salting cheese that had been previously made, turning cheeses in the aging cave, cutting and wrapping cheese that's going to the wholesale customers. I did some shipping for online orders. I also had a lot of fun yesterday because I was invited to a restaurant that was having a bourbon steward present a bourbon and cheese pairing. So she talked about the bourbon, I talked about the cheese. If you go back to our first video, the two of us sat down and worked out what the best pairings were for the bourbon and the cheese. And so the results of that happened yesterday.
Yes. And what else happened this week?
I don't remember.
The dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff. Time is irrelevant on the farm. Stuff happens. We just roll with it. We did have one of our rescheduled dinners. There'll be a little bit of footage about that. And then I also have been haying this week. I've been making a new pig area and just doing the regular farm chores, the daily stuff, moving the cows, getting the cows in, milking, all the stuff that goes on a small dairy farm.
Yeah. And then the people that gleefully come to our farm store who can pick up cheese and pork and beef. Which it's not really a farm store. It's
the farm hut, the cheese hut.
We call it the cheese hut. It's sort of a little bump out off of the commercial kitchen area, so there's a nice little metal green roof.
This is the cheese hut, and in it you will find self-service cheese right there, and freezer packs for the farmers markets, but also some meat there. And in this freezer here, we've got our beef and pork. I am down here in the forest setting up new grazing for the cows for the next couple days. There's only a limited amount of feed down here, but we might as well use it up and get it regrowing before frost hits. They've been in here where there's very little, but I've been feeding them baleage, and that was to give the grass enough time to regrow down here and everywhere else. Let me just get this reel set up. All right, so I'm going to walk this reel down here, and then we'll talk about the grass. This section of the forest is only temporary fence for now. I'm started to set up the permanent single line fencing. I'll probably add a pair of lines down below so that we can move the pigs through here eventually. But at least for now, the temporary lines give us some means of grazing down here and are also configurable. I'm gonna come down to here. Cows are gonna graze out in this whole section today. You can see the grass is bright green. It's not very dark green. It's all just short. It's maybe 6 inches tall tops. I really shouldn't be grazing it. But there's some sections at the back that are taller than others. And I just like to get the cows moved through here. They're just gonna get this whole area, probably a couple acres today, and then we'll move them across the way where the grass is definitely taller in clumps. They've been through this side 5 times. This will be their 6th time, I believe, and you can see the grass is very much darker green and also has quite a bit of nice height to it. So there should be 1, 2, 3, a couple days of grazing on this side here, and then they'll be out in the big pasture. And I'm hoping that the extra few days down here buys some more time. We've got a week of lovely weather. I'm going to go off and hay, so I'm hoping that this break down here in the forest for the next four days will give extra time for the pasture up above to grow, and then I'll just have to move across that paddock, those paddocks up in the big pasture, just a little quicker, and then the cows are in for the winter unless we have a really mild October. But predictions are early frost. In fact, I thought there was supposed to be a predicted frost for this morning, which thankfully didn't come. But I do want to graze this and then let it rest and not have the cows back down here. I will bale graze in this light section over winter once the ground is frozen, and that will allow me to improve the organic matter and nutrition in that pasture. Since I'm down here, I'm going to take another 5 minutes and just set up the next couple days. Oops, dropped a post. Set up the next couple days grazing, because this week is jam-packed. It was already full. We've got one of our suppers that was relocated because of Hurricane Lee is coming up this Friday night. We've got a couple of fundraising events over the weekend that we're participating in. Sorry, just looking to see where to put this post. And so that's like next weekend is jam-packed, but it's going to take days during the week to prepare for that. And now it looks like I'm going to spend some time haying. Problem is, my equipment is so slow that it really takes me a full day just to cut a field. And I have 3 fields all of a sudden, 3 large fields all of a sudden that I need to get cut. And I'm not sure I can get it all in. I'm not sure that some of the hay is going to be worth bringing in, because it is so late for a first cut, and the second cut fields will not yield much, but they'll take as much time, and that's going to be a bit of a challenge. I'll have to see. I'm going to go look at the fields today and see where we get. Just gonna do this one-handed isn't great, but I don't have a tripod with me. reeling the reel. I just got to block the cows off. There's a hole in the ground there. I don't want them to step in. I've got to fix that. And just get this brought out, and then I'll come back and throw some posts in. This side's looking much lusher than the other side. I'm just gonna get this run across. I don't have to move a post. Set that there and overlap it. So this will define this, and I'll be able to put them in here tomorrow morning. I'm gonna throw a dividing line up. So they'll have this for the morning, and they'll have another little section for the day, and then come back and finish this off over the night. I'm just upstairs in the barn because tonight we're having one of our monthly farm dinners. It's a rescheduled one, kind of a mess because of the Hurricane Lee. Had to cancel the last one. So we rescheduled it for this. It's a Friday night. Normally they're on Sundays, third Sunday of every month throughout the summer, June through October. Anyway, here's the barn space. Because this was a bad year, wet, and we didn't get any hay cut until August. This barn's usually full to the rafters with hay. And we didn't have that, so we turned it into an event space because it was raining and so wet, so we didn't have to cancel any of our dinners through the summer. We've got one here in about 6 hours. These beams are headache makers. They're really low, or the floor is too high. This is a Franken barn built of parts cut. These gun stock posts are sort of late 1700s, early 1800s. Maybe, I think they kind of went out of fashion in New England in 1820. So there's parts of this barn are around that age, and the rest, I think this barn was put up sometime in the mid 1800s, 1840s. Been heavily modified over the years. Here are card tables. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's plenty. And we've got a couple of 4 tops. And there's tables for that. Anyway, this is a great event space. I've got to put in some real windows probably this winter. Clean this out. Maybe add real windows. Add some insulation and sheetrock or something. I've got to redo the floor. It's pretty springy. I'm actually glad we didn't put a lot of hay in it this year. And because the floor really needs some massive work, and somebody had cut out a section of the floor and raised it here. I think they were parking a pickup truck underneath, but the downstairs floor won't handle the weight of a truck, so we don't use that. Massive sunflower from this year. So anyway, I just have to plug in the lights, and we'll come back to this one-handed. This isn't so fun. We'll come back up here later. So let's do this and see the magical transformation. Oh, got one more to plug in. Okay.
In Maine. I used to have a restaurant in Portland, and I would remember a lot of people would come up on 4th of July weekend and want fresh Maine tomatoes. Good luck, sucker. There ain't no tomatoes around here until fall. And that's when they really start to come. Bluefin tuna, I mean, it's the season right now. We marinated that with a little black vinegar, soy. There's plenty here. I want you guys to taste it. And then the cubes are a gelée made
Pork rib.
Wow. Yeah, well, it's like diced up, kind of, yeah.
You know, the idea was supposed to be that it was,
You just roll in, set up, and leave.
yeah,
Yeah.
so Yeah, we'll need clarification. But she did say the gals are just totally in awe of you and had such a wonderful time yesterday.
Excellent. Huzzah.
Huzzah.
I am kidding.
You stinker.
This is what we call a power breakfast. We eat and we conduct business while we eat, because as soon as we leave this bistro area, which is where we dine out regularly when the weather's nice, and
Or not.
often when it's not nice,
This is a perfect spot.
it's wonderful. Once we leave this area, we're literally gone on our own individual paths and doing our own things, and sometimes don't cross paths again until bedtime. So,
Or at least milking time.
yeah, but even then, it's kind of milking. You've got cows in the way. The cows aren't conducive to business topics. They come with their own baggage.
Bags of milk. So this week I have 2 farm appointments, and then the event on Saturday, and then Sunday is
Open Creamery Day. When we open the farm up to the public specifically to do a cheese tour, people who make cheese, and is Open Creamery Day, it's a state ag thing, right?
No,
it's
no.
not a Cheese Guild thing?
No, it's a cheese guild thing.
Oh, it's a Cheese Guild thing. So it's specifically related to cheese. It's
But-
not creameries that make ice cream, for instance. Because that is, too, the definition of creamery.
Well, here's the thing. The Cheese Guild has wisely encouraged other dairy producers to be members, and I actually think that there is an ice cream person on this. I haven't looked at the updated list. I think that there, for this year, I think there are 20 creameries that are participating.
So if you're in Maine and you see this, and we've actually released it before next Sunday, which is the 8th of October.
The 9th of October.
9th of October? 8th. Because it's 7 days from today,
7.
which is the 1st. So the 8th of October.
Oh, yeah. Of 2023.
Then
Because the
you
internet
should
is forever.
check out Open Creamery Day and go visit a farm.
And there-
Maybe even ours.
There's a map on the Maine Cheese Guild website, which is
Which we
mainecheese.org.
may link to below if
Something.
we remember.
Yeah. But it's also, next weekend is very busy because it's Pumpkin Fest and Damascotta. It's the Maine Fiber Frolic. It's Maine Arts and Crafts Weekend. And they're actually in Friendship. There are 3 people on the trail. So if you came to Waldoboro, which is just such an amazing and vibrant town these days, you can...
Sell it, babe.
It's true. I mean, think about it. You've got the Waldoboro Theater. You've got...
Adair Wise Brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have to go through the list.
Yeah. So if you come down the peninsula, you can get cheese here, go and have art down just 4 miles down the road in Friendship. Get a really good lobster roll while you're down there.
There you go. It's all happening right here in Maine.
Right here in Waldoboro, for that matter. Incredible. So we had this Cowside Supper on Friday with
Rescheduled because
of the hurricane. Because they're normally the 3rd Sunday of the month from June to October. Anyway, this is leftovers. So we're having ravioli with this incredible corn cream sauce. And then we subscribe to a farm box so that we get locally grown produce year round
because we don't have time to grow our own vegetables because
or
whatever.
Or
we just don't have time.
Well, or when we have also had either pigs or cows end up in the garden
Stomping
eating
through the garden.
them. Yeah. So anyway, we subscribe to this farm box. I can say who it's with, right?
Of course, promote. I mean, don't hold back.
It's called.
It may be an international channel, but
so it's
you can
called
shop locally.
Daybreak Growers Alliance, and they have all different levels of farm boxes. So there are. You can get produce, you can get proteins, you can get cheeses, you can get
Frozen
prepared
goods,
foods,
prepared,
frozen
yeah,
goods.
all
It's
kinds of
really
cool
it's
stuff.
wonderful, and there are a growing number of hubs where you can pick up, and so you can get weekly, you can get bi-weekly. It's really cool. We do participate. They sell my cheese, and anyway, so the zucchini that is in our breakfast this morning came out of the farm box.
Here's the problem. We shoot all this on all of the scenes you'll see are shot on iPhones because we don't have GoPros and drones and that technology yet. Maybe someday. But anyway, it's kind of hard at times to film something interesting and receive a phone call to cancel the footage, or to have to look something up or do something on your phone while you're trying to film with the phone.
It's kind of an odd thing to complain about You realize
It's a
that
very
these-
first world problem. I
well,
know.
not only that,
I
but,
know,
I mean, it's
but
such a-
here's the thing: farmers moan, and we can literally moan about anything, especially mostly the weather. But when the weather's not moanable, we moan about other things.
You need to go.
I know. I need to look at the time, and it's on my phone, which is there.
But my phone is right here to tell us that it is
11
9
o'clock. Oh man, I gotta go rake and bale hay.
And yes, we are eating breakfast at 11 a.m.
It
But
was
we've
second
been work-
breakfast. We've been working since 6.
We haven't had second breakfast. We didn't have anything except coffee this morning. This is actual breakfast. Oh, were you eating something?
Maybe.
Oh, cheeky.
We didn't have anything for first breakfast. We
We have coffee.
We need a pastry drone to fly in first breakfast.
Well, I need to make bread today. At least if we have bread, we can at least have toast before we go and milk and feed pigs and
Everything else we do.
before we get around to eating breakfast. Oh, all right. You go bale hay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Move.
Look at that fluffy pup. Hi, puppers.